This lesson I'm really excited to talk about because I think this is such a fascinating way to use this tool, which is asking the right questions to learn about other people's success in the past. And the reason I think this is so cool is because if you're gonna do this with traditional Google searches, it would be so many clicks to different articles and scanning through pages of blogs and write-ups to try to find just the quick, most concise information to find on people's past and why they became so successful. So let's hop into ChatGPT and see what we can learn. So the prompt I want to start with is a public figure that most everyone knows, Dr. Dre, super famous music producer, super famous entrepreneur. And I'm going to ask a really simple question right out of the gate. Why was Dr. Dre so successful? Awesome. So we have a concise answer on his reasons for success, and let's just read through this quickly. Dr. Dre, whose real name is Andre Young, is considered one of the most successful and influential hip-hop producers of all time. Here are some reasons why he's been so successful. First off is pioneering his own sound, which is one of the main reasons he's known for, is creating that unique sound. Next is his talent as a producer, and then his eye for finding and discovering new and up-and-coming talent, and his business savviness, which this is really interesting to me, and I want to find out more about point number 4. So it expanded on point number 4. Dr. Dre's success as a businessman can be attributed to his ability to spot trends and capitalize them. He co-founded Death Row Records in the early 1990s, which quickly became one of the most successful and influential hip-hop labels of all times. Now, I would like a little bit more detail on this answer. So I'm going to say, please list his most influential and successful events of his career in chronological order with a brief description. And what this is going to do is lay out all of his most important moments and let me know when they were and what they were. Perfect. So it outlined his most important moments in his music career, but it's related more towards his album releases. Now what I want to learn is now create another list that just shows his business-related decisions that were a huge success. So rather than getting more about his music side, I wanna just really focus in on the business side. So there you have it. Now I have a list of his most important business decisions, and I can learn from this, get inspired from this, and create my own roadmap if I was trying to walk in his footsteps and emulate his career. So that leads to the next prompt. What are the main points of his success that I can implement as an up-and-coming music producer? So now we have a specific set of steps that we can potentially follow as an up-and-coming music producer to develop our own sound, collaborate with other artists, stay on top of trends, build strong business foundation, and nurture other people's talent and our own talent the same way Dr. Dre did. Now I want to take this one step further and ask to create a weekly schedule that outlines what I should do each day and at what time in order to implement the 5 steps outlined above. So now I have an overview of what I can focus on every single day in the morning and then in the afternoon to really walk in Dr. Dre's footsteps. And you can recreate this for any artist, any entrepreneur, any business person, and opportunities are endless here. So I really recommend that you try this out. Find one of your favorite celebrities or people that you look up to, dig down and find out about their success, about their talents, why they were so successful, and then see what you can do to develop your own schedule to start emulating that success. So let's continue to synthesize and learn large amounts of information in a short amount of time. And what I want to focus on in this lesson is learning from past businesses and past world events. So the prompt I want to start off with is, tell me the most significant events with dates and a 1-sentence explanation in Apple's history that played a major role in the company's success. So here we have it. In 1976, Apple Computers was founded by Steve Jobs. In 1984, Apple unveiled the first Macintosh computer. 85, Steve Jobs, as we know, resigns from Apple. 1988, they introduced the iMac. And 2001, they launched the iPod. I remember that as a kid. 2007, they introduced the iPhone, which was game-changing completely as one of the first smartphones to completely revolutionize the way people communicate. And then Apple releases the iPad. Steve Jobs resigns from Apple as the CEO. Apple unveils the Apple Watch. And then lastly, Apple continues to innovate by releasing new types of microchips for their computers. So the overall theme of this is Apple really continuing to revolutionize and innovate with their products. So after learning from this list, what I want to then learn is how is Apple able to innovate so much on the computer software side and technology side and do it so effectively? So whether I'm writing my own essay or I'm working in a similar field for another company and wanting to learn about their success and why it happened, this is an entire list that will help me get to that end goal. So we talk about visionary leadership, design focus, close integration of hardware and software, an emphasis on user experience, investment in research and development, a culture of innovation, and focusing constantly on simplification, as we all know Apple really focuses on. All of these items offer some pretty clear insights, and we can continue to break these down further and further until ChatGPT gets us the information we're looking for and we can move on to the next task. So what I want to do now is move away from a business-related set of prompts and talk about and learn about past historical events. So the prompt I want to start off with is, tell me in 6 concise paragraphs a summary of the Civil War and include as many dates and events as possible. Great, so now we have a concise summary of the American Civil War that has our dates, our times, and important figures. So we can read through this, pull the information that we want, and to go even deeper, we can now ask ChatGPT to convert this into a bullet point list of the events by date in chronological order. Great, so we have our summarized list in chronological order, and we can run through all of these, pull the data and the information that we want, or even expand, as you know, on further getting more info on a specific topic. So let's go ahead and get some more information on the Battle of Gettysburg. Great, so we took one of our dates from above and expanded it into a detailed summary, and this process is so much more effective than a standard Google search to get the same amount of information and really have this back and forth conversation. So now, as a final part of this prompt, I want to get a little bit more info on General Robert E. Lee. And there you have it. We have the background of General Robert E. Lee, what he did in his life, and when he passed away. So this was a quick way to really use ChatGPT as your own history teacher or even your own business coach and ask the right questions to get concise responses while saving yourself time and energy. So now that you've learned how to really use ChatGPT to synthesize information about past public figures and past events, what I want to do now is walk through an example of how to use it in your life today with social dynamics and your relationships with other people in your life. So let's start with our first example. As a high school teacher, how do I approach and communicate with students who misbehave in class? And of course, you would tailor this type of prompt to your own specific scenario in life. So here we have our answer. Dealing and misbehaving with students can be challenging, but it's important to approach them in a way that is both firm and compassionate. I would agree with that. So our first point, stay calm and composed. It is important to stay calm and composed when dealing with misbehaving students and avoid getting angry or emotional. Number 2, address the behavior, not the student. I think that's a great point. Number 3, be clear and direct. Use positive reinforcement. Listen to the student. Involve parents or other support systems. If this gave us the exact answers we were looking at or looking for, awesome. If not, we can further expand on any of these points or even regenerate the response to hear the answer in a slightly different way. Now let's start with a second prompt. I want ChatGPT to give me 10 ways to resolve a conflict with my coworker that's trying to obtain the same promotion that I'm working towards. So here we have 10 points to follow to help resolve any of the conflicts we might be having with our coworker, to communicate openly and respectfully, to focus on the work, seek feedback from others, identify our own strengths and unique contributions, be willing to compromise, and the list goes on. Now, a follow-up question we can ask, let's say that our hardest part that we've identified from this list that we have the most hard time doing is keeping an open mind. So I find it hard for myself to keep an open mind, like bullet point 9. How can I do this more effectively? And ChatGPT is gonna go ahead and expand on this, and ideally, like a personal assistant or a personal trainer or a coach, it's gonna give us a tailored response that's gonna help us reveal any blind spots that we have that might be barriers holding us back. And that's really the key here, is to continue asking it questions and going further down into this discovery process. So here we have 7 points. Recognize your own biases, seek out new experiences, be curious, practice empathy, stay informed, challenge your own beliefs, and be flexible. So some really great pointers, and you can continue to tailor these questions to your specific life.
For watching the video till the end. Please leave your thoughts below so we can discuss more about the topic. If you'd like to suggest a video that could help the community, feel free to message me on X or Instagram. We also share short videos on Instagram, so make sure to follow us there. Feel free to reach out. We'd love to hear from you, and might even create a video based on your suggestion.